Look at the drawing on the left. It is a highly detailed illustration, but it is completely frozen. Now look at the right. The exact same character is smoothly walking, shifting its weight, and swinging its arms. In the next 6 minutes, you are going to learn how to build a skeletal rig, sequence key poses, and animate a static image from scratch using Adobe Animate. To follow along, you only need 2 things: Adobe Animate installed on your computer and a single transparent PNG file of a character. By building out a skeletal framework, you establish the physical structure needed to turn a flat, motionless design into a living, moving actor. Step 1 is setting up the workspace. Open a new document, import your PNG file directly to the stage, and use the free Transform tool to scale your character to the correct size. Next, select the Asset Warp tool. Before you click the character, go to your Properties panel and turn on the Create Bones slider. This tells the software to calculate a rigid skeleton rather than just stretching the image. Your very first click on the image creates the root bone. Every other bone and joint you add will act as a child to this central node, with the movement commands cascading outward from this single anchor point. For a humanoid character, place this root bone at the base of the spine, right at the hips. This properly anchors the skeleton, mirroring how human bodies distribute weight to the legs and torso. From that hip joint, click to add pins wherever a real body bends. Add a pin for the neck, the shoulders, the elbows, the knees, and the ankles. If your character has a tail or an antenna that should move independently from the main skeleton, press the Escape key. This breaks the active chain so you can start a fresh, disconnected bone structure. Establishing a logical parent-child hierarchy keeps the software from tearing your character's mesh. It ensures that when a shoulder rotates, the attached arm and hand follow in sequence. Now that the skeleton is built, we move to the timeline. By inserting a new keyframe, you isolate a specific moment in time so you can manipulate the character into a brand new pose. To create that pose, you must follow one strict physical rule: drag the bones themselves, never the circular joints. If you drag a joint or click too quickly, you risk adding an accidental pin. Wait for your cursor to display the small bone symbol before you click and drag a limb into position. This profile illustration shows a highly effective template for plotting out a standard walk cycle. We will use this exact positioning to guide where our character's limbs should fall. Notice the mechanical opposition required to stay upright. The solid blue leg stepping forward is balanced by the solid blue arm swinging backward. The white arm and leg follow the exact opposite pattern to maintain an even center of gravity. To give the stride real physical weight, look closely at the subtle forward tilt of the torso and the slight forward shift of the head as the momentum carries the figure. Apply this logic to your timeline. Move your playhead forward, alternate the arm and leg positions, and lock in each alternating pose with a new keyframe. By defining just the widest, most extreme points of the stride, you establish the strict mathematical boundaries for the entire physical movement. You do not have to manually draw the steps in between those extreme poses. A tool called the Classic Tween instructs the software to calculate the distance and generate all the intermediate frames for you. Highlight the span of frames between your starting and ending poses, right-click, and select Create Classic Tween. If you look at your timeline and see a dotted line instead of a solid arrow, the tween has failed. This failure happens because the underlying data does not match. You likely have a different number of pins or mismatched skeletal geometry between your starting keyframe and your ending keyframe. To fix it, scrub between the two poses and look for an accidental pin. Delete the extra pin, right-click to remove the broken tween, and then apply it again. When the skeletal data matches perfectly, a solid, unbroken arrow will appear across your timeline. The software can successfully automate the motion because the bone structure it is calculating remains strictly consistent from start to finish. With your poses locked and your tweens applied, press the Enter key to play the timeline and watch your character move on the stage. The static image is now executing a continuous loop. It carries forward momentum, shows clear weight distribution, and operates entirely on the structure you built. Because the underlying skeleton is fully intact, you do not have to start from scratch to build the next action. You can reuse this exact same rig to keyframe a run, a jump, or a wave. You can drop this complete walking cycle right into an interactive background scene. To learn how to composite moving environments, make sure to subscribe to the channel. By carefully defining the character's bones, setting the extreme poses, and letting the software calculate the physical space between them, you become the director of your own virtual actors.